Now, also in Canberra today, the Leader of the Opposition, Anthony Albanese, who you won't be surprised to know has had happy, smiley photos taken with Grace Tame. Well, Albo delivered a major speech today.
And on her final day as Australian of the Year, I want to take a moment to thank Grace Tame for her quite extraordinary courage and her fierce advocacy. Grace, you've inspired countless Australians and you've earned enormous respect.
Yeah, OK, fair enough. Look out for those two on the campaign trail. But that was just an aside for the Labor leader in this speech. The speech was really a scene setter for the political year ahead. It was delivered at the National Press Club, which of course is a home game for a Labor politician. And it was really an attempt, this speech, to frame the upcoming election. In many ways, that campaign, of course, is already underway. Anthony Albanese talked about federation reform. We always get talk about that, but wouldn't it be great to see some meaningful reform someday? We also got the usual Labor stuff, promising more money for education and for health and for the ABC. More free stuff too. Apparently he'll give everyone rapid antigen tests. Can't wait for that one, hey? I think we're going to have stockpiles of these things in the weeks and months to come. But Anthony Albanese wasn't so sure on how that's going to work in practice.
So a bit of common sense could be applied here. It's not beyond the wit of the government, well, a government that was competent to work this out.
But one of Albo's big election problems, in my view, is his main attack against the government. It's one that most of the press gallery won't call out because, of course, they're working hard, hand in glove in the same flawed strategy. And that is this line that the government has failed over the pandemic. It's an unsustainable attack. It gets a big run at the moment, did last year too, because the pandemic is tough, there are problems. But come election time, does Albo really think this critique is plausible?
This government has failed repeatedly on testing, tracing, vaccinations and quarantine, the grand slam of pandemic failure.
The grand slam of pandemic failure. One of the highest vaccination rates of any developed nation in the world. One of the lowest mortality rates of any developed nation in the world. And one of the most robust economies of any developed nation in the world. We actually have now more people in work in Australia than before the pandemic. So this reality really kills off Labor's attack, doesn't it? It really kills off the media attacks. You've got to remember, in an election campaign, the debate becomes a lot more serious and focused than the game playing that we're seeing at the moment. At the election, people will focus on claims and counterclaims, and they'll be analysed, and voters will make a choice. I reckon that if Labor makes the election a referendum on pandemic performance, it'll lose. Simple as that.